coming to you live from UMA, and I'm on my phone because my computer was not helping me, so I'm here on my phone. But my name is Elizabeth Peterson. I'm the director of the museum here at Oglethorpe. Really excited to see you guys and be here in the museum, live and in person in Pax Tokugawa, which opens tomorrow virtually, and later in the summer, we anticipate that it will open in person, so we're very excited about that. What is behind me is an Ukiyo-e print. You may know Ukiyo-e means pictures of the floating world, and these prints were made very popular from about 1603 through 1868 or so, which was the period of the Tokugawa shogunate, the last traditional period in Japan. And this one was made by Utagawa Hiroshige II. Hiroshige II studied with Utagawa Hiroshige I, who was not his father, but who was his master. This is kind of an interesting story of names, so you can kind of make your way through here. He was born with the name Suzuki Chinpei, or by some accounts, Morita Chinpei. He apprenticed with Utagawa Hiroshige I under the name Utagawa Shingen Nubu. And then when Utagawa Hiroshige passed away, his apprentice became the master and took on his name and married his daughter, whose name I can't seem to find, which kind of says a lot about history, doesn't it? But then he also annulled that marriage. That marriage was dissolved, and he later moved to Yokohama and began a completely different career under the name Ryusho or Kishi Riso. So it's a story of names with Hiroshige. With Hiroshige the first and the second, both were very, very aware of the work of hokusai. And if you don't know Japanese art, no worries. We have so much of it here at Oglethorpe. We're happy to help and help you learn. But if you know only the tiniest bit, hokusai and the Great Wave is something you have undoubtedly seen. The Great Wave, which seems to be not just subsuming and taking over an entire ship, but also dwarfing the Mount Fuji in the distance. So Hiroshige the first and Hiroshige the second both undoubtedly knew of this these particular works that were done by hokusai, and they both did a series of works that were inspired by hokusai's series of views of Mount Fuji. So Hiroshige did views of the Tokaido Road and others. This one behind me is called the Fukuryo Kites in a distant view of Akiba in the Enshu province. And it was given several years ago in honor of a cherished OU colleague, former professor Ron Carlisle, who, like our dear friend Bob Steen, also passed away unexpectedly and was sorely missed. Now, I regret to say I never met Dr. Carlisle, but he seems to me to embrace all that is best and beautiful about a liberal arts education. Was a real Renaissance man with a abiding interest in many fields, mathematician, musician, an aficionado of all things Japanese. So a really wonderful, cherished colleague and professor at OU. So Utagawa Hiroshige II, as I said, then left for Yokohama. What can I tell you about technique? So this, and I've just got a few minutes left here. Technique is particularly interesting. And if you can see at the top of the print, it's very, very dark blue. And if you're looking for a Hiroshige or a Hiroshige follower, and there are many emulators, you can look to that first, and that is called Bokashi. Bokashi is a very deep color gradation that you often see. Now, this is a color woodcut, and that color woodcut is created by a series of carved block prints. So for every color that you see, there's a separate woodblock print. So this one probably has in the neighborhood of 8 to 10 separate woodblocks. Ukiyo prints, pictures of the floating world, became popular during the Tokugawa shogunate because the merchant class, there was a rising merchant class, and they had some purchasing power, and so these were widely seen throughout the space and then sent to the West. So we see these beautiful pictures of the floating world, which indicate a life of leisure, kabuki, geishas, all sorts of beauty. And we want you to join us next Tuesday at 2 for the next 5-Minute Museum with my colleague John Daniel Tilford, which will be on the 20th of April, a special day for Tilford as well. Thanks all. See you then. Bye.